Let me ask you something. How long did you work today? 8 hours? 10? Maybe more if you count the commute, the emails after dinner, the Sunday evening prep that nobody pays you for. Now, let me ask you a harder question. How much of that time actually belonged to you? Because here's what nobody tells you about inflation. It doesn't just make things cost more, it makes your hours worth less. Every hour you worked 5 years ago bought more groceries, more gas, more rent, more life than the same hour buys today. You didn't slow down, you didn't become less skilled, the clock didn't change, but the value of what you traded your time for, your paycheck, quietly shrank while you were busy earning it. Welcome to Exit Velocity. Last episode, we looked at Bitcoin's energy use and found out the critics have it exactly backwards. Bitcoin seeks out the cheapest, cleanest energy on the planet, while the traditional financial system burns through resources with zero accountability. But today we're getting personal, because the most important resource you have isn't money, it's time. And the current monetary system is stealing it from you in a way that's almost invisible. Let's start with a number. In 1971, the average American worker earned about $3.60 an hour. Adjusted for official inflation, the government's own numbers. That's roughly $28 in today's dollars. The current average hourly wage is about $30. So in 55 years, real wages have gone up about 7%. 7% in half a century. But here's where it gets ugly. Worker productivity, the amount of value each worker creates per hour, has increased by over 60% in that same period. You are producing dramatically more value than your grandparents did, and you're being paid almost exactly the same in real terms. Where did the other 53% go? It went to the people who own assets, stocks, real estate, businesses, the things that go up in price when new money is printed. And this isn't a conspiracy, it's a structural feature of how fiat currency works. When the Federal Reserve creates new dollars, those dollars don't show up in your bank account. They enter the economy through banks, through bond purchases, through financial markets. The people closest to that spigot, institutional investors, hedge funds, corporations, get to deploy the new money before prices adjust. By the time those dollars trickle down to your paycheck, everything already costs more. Economists call this the Cantillon effect, and we've talked about it before. But I want you to feel it in terms of time, not money, because money is abstract. Time is the one thing you can never get back. Let's make this concrete. In 1970, the median home price in the United States was about $23,000. The median household income was around $9,800. That means a house cost roughly 2.4 years of gross income. One income, one earner, 2.5 years of work, and you owned a home. Today, the median home price is around $420,000. The median household income, now usually requiring two earners, is about $80,000. That's 5.25 years of gross household income, with two people working. So the real cost of a home, measured in human labor hours, has more than quadrupled. You now need two people working more than twice as long to buy what one person could buy in 1970. That's not housing getting better. Houses are built with cheaper materials than they were 50 years ago. That's your time getting worth less. Now let's look at education. In 1980, the average annual tuition at a public university was about $800. The minimum wage was $3.10 an hour. That means you could pay for a year of college with roughly 258 hours of minimum wage work, about 6.5 weeks of full-time labor. Today, average public university tuition is around $11,000 per year. The federal minimum wage is $7.25. That's 1,517 hours of work, 38 weeks. You'd have to work nearly the entire year at minimum wage just to cover tuition. Forget rent, food, books, or having any kind of life. The degree didn't get 3 times better. Your hours got 3 times cheaper. Here's the pattern you need to see. In every major category of spending, housing, education, healthcare, childcare, the cost measured in work hours has exploded. Not by a little, by multiples. And in every case, the thing you're buying isn't dramatically better than it was decades ago. A hospital visit doesn't heal you faster. A classroom doesn't teach you more. A roof over your head doesn't keep you drier. What changed is the money, specifically the disconnection of the dollar from anything real. Before 1971, the dollar was backed by gold. There was a physical limit to how many dollars could exist. That limit disciplined the entire system. Wages, prices, and purchasing power moved roughly in sync. After 1971, that limit was removed. The government could create as many dollars as it wanted, and it did. The money supply has increased by over 4,000% since 1971. When you increase the number of dollars by 4,000%, but the number of houses, doctors, and universities doesn't increase by 4,000%, something has to give. What gives is the purchasing power of each dollar. And since your wages are paid in dollars, what gives is the purchasing power of your time. This is the hidden mechanism behind the feeling that so many people have that no matter how hard they work, they can't get ahead. They're right, they can't. Because the system is designed to transfer wealth from people who earn money through labor to people who hold assets that inflate. Your paycheck is denominated in something that loses value. Their portfolio is denominated in things that gain value when the money printer runs. Think about what this means for your life. If you work 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year, for 40 years, that's 80,000 hours. That's your entire working life. Every percentage point of purchasing power your dollars lose while you're earning them is not just a financial loss. It's a theft of time you spent and can never recover. At the official inflation rate of 3 to 5% per year, a dollar you earn today will buy about half as much in 15 years. So the money you're saving for your kids' college, for your retirement, for a down payment, it's melting. Not dramatically, not in a way that makes the news. Slowly, quietly, like an ice cube on a summer sidewalk. So what do? You stop storing the value of your labor in something that leaks. You find something with a fixed supply, something that can't be diluted, inflated, or printed into oblivion by people who face no consequences for doing it. Bitcoin has a fixed supply of 21 million. That number doesn't change. Not for emergencies, not for elections, not for wars, not for stimulus packages. No one can create more Bitcoin, which means no one can dilute the value of the Bitcoin you already hold. When you convert your paycheck into Bitcoin, you're converting your time into something that can't be stolen through monetary expansion. This isn't about getting rich. This is about not getting robbed. It's about making sure that the hours you worked last year and the year before that and the year before that, that those hours still mean something in 10 years, in 20 years. In the future, you're working so hard to build. Your time is the most valuable thing you have. It's finite. It's irreplaceable. And right now, the system you store it in is leaking. Bitcoin doesn't leak. Next episode, we're going to follow the money all the way up. $36 trillion in national debt. Who actually owes it? Who benefits from it? And why are you on the hook for debts you never agreed to? That's episode 8. You are the collateral. Until then, think in Bitcoin.